Hello and welcome to Mimi Sketchbook. Today my painting was inspired by David Tripp's book Morning Mercies, and it is June 17th. And this is what is peeking out from a lot of my plants around the yard. Some unattractive, spent, and gradually dying leaves that are left over from my spring bulbs. And it's important that you don't cut off the leaves of your spring bulbs until they have totally yellowed out. And that is because all of the nourishment from the leaves feed the bulbs that will produce next year's beautiful blooms. So my old dead leaves from my daffodils and hyacinths and narcissus and jonquils and tulips are slowly dying and yellowing and not looking very attractive right now. But sometimes when I have the energy and the time, I will take the long leaves of the daffodils, and you can either braid them or you can kind of roll them up, and you put them in like a little bunch, an attractive bunch, and you can tie one of the leaves around it and hold it in place so they're not sticking out and looking so unattractive. You could also roll them up and put a rubber band around them if you don't want to take the time to like put a knot in them with the leaf. But there's a lot of tricks that gardeners do to hide them while they're going through this important process of nourishing the bulbs for next year. Back in May, I painted a picture of this woodland hyacinth, or English bluebells, and this is what it looks like now. All of the petals of the pretty bluebell flowers have fallen off and dried up into little brown nubs, and the leaves are no longer upright and perky and bright, but they are now limp and a dull green, and they're almost buried beneath the flowers on either side of it. Today in his devotions, Tripp asked the question, where does your heart and mind go when difficulty comes into your life? And he also goes on to say, we all want a life that is comfortable and predictable. And we don't naturally think about the spiritual value of hardship. And over in the extra reading in 2 Corinthians, Paul the Apostle talks about the hardships that they are going through. And he says, therefore, we do not lose heart. Though outwardly we are wasting away, yet inwardly we are being renewed day by day. For our light and momentarily troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. So that is what made me think of these daffodil and hyacinth and all the spring bulb leaves that are wasting away in front of us. But really, they are renewing the bulbs, pouring their nourishment into the bulbs, so next year they might be just as beautiful and glorious as they were this year. So thank you for joining me at Mimi Sketchbook. I hope this was an encouragement to you and that you are not discouraged by the yellowing or the wasting away of those spring bulbs, because that is just a momentary trouble. And they are achieving a much greater goal right now of building up those bulbs for a more beautiful and healthy flower next year. So thanks and God bless.